Inspiration Nation, hello, Lee Kemp here for another week on a podcast with a full house. I've just realised on YouTube, if you're watching us, Jose Noya-Inspiration Nation, just stick it in your Google machine. Our name tag's in the wrong place, so I'm professionally sliding them around on the screen whilst we are live streaming, because that is what the pros do, people. That is what the pros do. We are back to a full house. Jose Noya, Lee Kemp, Ryan Boniface. Inspiration Nation, hello. Ryan, you are the man with the subject this week. So what are we talking about?
Wrote it down so I didn't forget it.
Well, now you need to read it because you did forget it, yeah?
I have a habit of forgetting them. So the subject this week isn't a quote. It's going to be something I think that actually tailors to some of the expertise that we have on this podcast, or some of the people on this podcast that might have.
Expertise, I think is what you want to call it.
Expert. That's not the first time you've said that, is it? That's why it came off the tongue so clean. That's why it came off the tongue so cleanly. I often struggle when using AI chatbots to articulate what I want it to do first time. So I've asked the guys if we can do a subject on the prompts and deriving the right outcomes from the prompts given. So the issue that I have when I do it, and it could be anything. It could be a piece of work that I'm doing, or it could be something personal, or just entertainment type question, or whatever. It's a type prompt, or whatever I want it to do. And I often struggle to, and it isn't the wording I use. It's actually articulating what I want to project out. Like, I can visualize what I want, but I can't always put that into words. And I think it's because I try and over engineer how I phrase it to the chatbot. Is chatbot the appropriate phrase to the AI?
Not at all.
Not at all.
But it works.
Sorry.
It works. And not at all. That's harsh. It's maybe slightly accurate, but it is like the chat.
Yeah, no, that's
fair. We'll go with yes. I'll unharshen my answer. Right, so what you're saying is you struggle to get out what you need from it.
Sometimes. Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, I'd imagine not always. I'm just getting up. My Windows is being a bit funky. I'm just going to open up ChatGPT and we can maybe do some live stuffs with this. Because by no way would I say I'm an expert, but I'm a strong amateur prompter, I would say. So happy to give some input. Jose, where are you on this particular subject?
I don't think I'm an expert prompter. I do use AI a lot. In fact, I do use it for helping me put notes together, which is really cool. So I don't think I am. And I do use it quite a lot. It's hard to know. Isn't it hard to know how expertise? It's very difficult for me to gauge it because it's a very personal thing, isn't it? But I imagine there's amazing prompters out there, like yourself, Lee, right?
I know,
but I don't.
We'll have a conversation on this. I know some stuff, but I say I'm not in no way am I putting myself as an expert, but I'm someone who's used it a reasonable amount, so I've got some views on this, and with the strong caveat that I always like to give, that these are my opinions, they may not be true, and I might have a completely different opinion this time next week. So an analogy that I used a while ago with people on prompting is it's like baking a cake. Anyone can make a Victoria sponge. And you can tell them how to do it in 2 minutes. But not everyone can make a wedding cake. Now, they're both baking, and if you want a bit of cake, a Victoria sponge is more than acceptable in 99% of situations. You're probably not going to whack that out for your wedding cake on the table, though. There's a little bit more expertise on that. And I think that's what it is it happens all the time. I'm almost uncomfortable with the term prompt engineering, in that I think that was an initial view, and it kind of puts on this specialised skill set to prompting. You'd have these group of programmers in a room doing this prompting, but we all do it. We've said it there. We all do it every day. It's everywhere. I mean, Google has got Gemini in the background of it now, and you can tailor your questions. Umpteen of us have got ChatGPT or Grok or Claude or Gemini or other versions of. There's so many AIs out there on our phone that we interact with all the time now. And every time you ask AI a question, you are in effect prompt engineering, which is where I think it's more widespread than that. I think it's out there. Everyone does it, and everyone keep doing it more. And the more people do it, the more you'll find out ways to do it. And it almost becomes somewhat instinctive. So I think prompting is something that's accessible to everyone, and everyone does. But I do think that then there is a skill to it. But it's where I put my baking analogy in. Is I don't think it's like this gate-kept thing you need hours of lessons on until you start doing it. You can start doing it now, and everyone does it now, but you can get better at now ways to do it. And I've seen people put out, there was initially years ago a kind of a structure of 3 parts to a prompt, in terms of you give it its role, you give it the content, and you specify the format you want it. And that become 5 things to put in, that became 7 things that became put in, that became 10 different versions of the 7 versions you put in. And you can over engineer it to the point where you're, excuse my phrase, polishing a turd. And yes, you can do it this way and this way and this way, but what is the margin of difference? Same way I've got a view that, again, is my view, and there's lots of people that be different, where people are like, oh, Gemini, ChatGPT, Claude, blah, 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 what's the best? I think they're all much of a muchness. For the level to which I personally use it day to day, is the margin of difference between it makes no material difference. And I think you can get there with prompting. You can do it badly, you can do it well, you can do it very well, but I think there's a whole load of literature that is just taking that to the nth degree, that actually is just overloading with science that doesn't make a difference. Personally, and it's my last bit, we'll do some examples and stuff. Again, this is all unsolicited, unvalidated advice here. AI is like an extremely intelligent toddler. So it's very, very, very smart, but it also knows nothing other than what you ask it to do. And if you don't specify, it will fill in the gaps itself, and that's when you go wrong. So you can give it too much room, or you can become really specific and stifle its creativity, or a bit of both. And general day to day, I'm more lax with my own GPT, and it goes through what will now be hundreds of thousands of conversations I've had with it. I just talk to it like it's a person. But a lot of that is because it remembers my conversations, and I've trained it on feedback, and I've got where it's got it. If I'm building a tool in work, I have to be really, really, really super specific, and that's where you build in guardrails, and you stop hallucinations, and you give it boundaries, and you make sure it doesn't do stuff out of its way. So part of it is the appropriateness of what you're doing and how much control you want on it. So for yours, Ryan, we'll do live examples. I've got Mr. ChatGPT open on my screen here. How would you do a prompt if you wanted to do so? I don't know if this is a good way to do it, but I don't know if we talk through an example and where it goes right and wrong.
Most of my examples are probably going to be work examples, but I don't use ChatGPT for my work examples, so I probably, let me open the trusty work laptop. I'm also not going to give you specifics, obviously, but I can give you some context to what I'm on about.
Jose, while Ryan's low, what do you use it for mostly in your own time?
I use it for loads of stuff, like my tennis, for instance. I use it to say, I'm having this bit of trouble. I get a role. I say, look, I want you to be my tennis coach.
Yeah.
What, let's see how I'm feeling right now, where my shots are going, what's a good strategy. I'm playing this type of player right now. What would be a good way to just sort of manage that? So that's how I use it. It's really good.
Yeah, and that's
really
good because you're giving it really good context on the way in. Because with the role, you're giving it 2 things. Tennis, knowledge base is reduced significantly from everything to tennis, and you're going to be my coach. So actually now it knows to give you advice, give you prompts, talk to you in a coaching way. So in that one sentence, you've taken the variance of the answers you get right down to a really specific category of those 2 things. I mean, I don't know. Is there a difference between US and UK, for example, or other countries' rules about tennis? If there were, if you were to say you're a UK tennis coach, you'd narrow that even more. And I do that a lot with things where straight away terminology, language, interpretation, cultural things. Again, it narrows its knowledge base. That's what you do with the role thing, basically, is you take it from everything to a specific role, which is good.
Yeah, that's
I love
how
you use it for your tennis.
Yeah, it's really good. Like, and I even put in it, right, I'm playing this type of player. This is how I lost last time. They've got great at rallying, not so good at the net. What would be a good strategy for me to employ? Or they're really good at rallying. How do I stay in the game? And it's really good. Like, just concentrate on these three things and do them well. And actually, it's really worked. Like, some of it's like worked so good, even around my emotional set when I'm actually playing. It gives me context around where you reset off the points, just focus here. I mean, I was just blown away, really. And this is the free version I'm using. It's a free version, not the paid. I'm using the free version. Blown away by it. Absolutely, it's blown away. Yeah, that's how I use it. It's really cool. I'm a bit worried though. I don't know what you guys think. And we're going to get Ryan to come back in here because I know he's looking up stuff. I'm a bit worried. Do I use it too much? I don't know. That's what I'm worried about.
There's such a thing.
So
that's a good.
I'm just
good
literally used as my like thinking partner at the minute. It's like really cool. Oh, I think it's brilliant. Yeah, that's my take.
So I use AI both in and out of work. However, I primarily use it outside of work because I'm not sure with the job I specifically do how much it would assist me. So I don't think to use it. However, that doesn't mean that isn't something that I can look at and work on, etc., etc. So outside of work, I'll ask it a wide range of things. Like, for example, I got a text from a random text from an electrician today saying that your estate agent would like us to come and do a yearly electricity inspection on your flat. Okay, so I actually threw what that test looked like into ChatGPT to understand what they would need to look at. Will it affect me at work? Will I need to make some adjustments to make that sort of thing happen? And it explained to me exactly what it was going to be and what that would probably look like. Fine, great. That outside of work, I don't really have a problem with it. What I think I have a problem with is when I'm giving it something to read as well. Like Joe says, he gives it a role, or he gives the assistant a role, so to speak. I don't do that. That's probably something where I'm probably starting to go wrong.
Yeah.
So, as an example, and I'll share my biggest Excel fear with the pair of you. I could do everything on Excel. I cannot do V and X lookups to save my life. Can't do them. Never understood them. No idea. So I've asked. We use Copilot at work. I've asked Copilot on 6 different occasions to help me understand V and X lookups. And if I go all the way back to the top, I'll read you my prompt.
Okay, good.
Is that what you're after?
That's a good way to go.
When I read it back, it looks silly. I'm really struggling with VLOOKUP on Excel. I have 2 spreadsheets totally separated. Sheet 1 contains a list of different teams in the first sheet, and then a list of numbers in column B. Sheet 2 contains a smaller list of numbers, and I need to match up the numbers from sheet 1 to sheet 2. Now, when I read that back, I can already see how that would be confusing for the AI bot to understand. However, what it went on to do it went on to suggest everything but how to do a VLOOKUP or an XLOOKUP. It asked me if I wanted to do a lookup array or a list lookup or things like that. And in the end, I yielded and I let it show me what it wanted to show me, and I got it to do what it got it to do. But I came away from the conversation not any more clued up on how to do those things than where I was when I started. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that does.
So when I returned to it the second time, I said to it, I need to do this again, but with a separate sheets. Don't get me wrong, I probably could have copied the formulas over and made it work, but I was determined to understand how specifically to do those lookups, so I didn't have to rely on this every time. It then started asking me what version of Excel I was in, and if I was on a older Windows system than the current one I was on. I assume it's because there were some slight differences in formulas across those iterations, whatever. And again, it led me back down to doing lookup arrays and other different things. Lookup lists, sorry, and other different things. So back and forth, that's kind of what that looks like.
Cool.
That makes sense?
Yeah, we'll do a couple of bits on it. Sorry, Jose, I'm talking a lot here, so tell me if you want to add in. And
no, it's good. It's good. It's good.
A thing, again, personally, the thing I find is you can rabbit hole with AI sometimes is you will inadvertently give it some bias in a question that gives it a steer in a direction, and or AI will always try and answer your question. So even if you give it something that's impossible to do, sometimes it will still go and find a way to do that because it's tries to be helpful. And again, you can mitigate that. I've trained mine. I've said to mine, do not make up an answer. If you're unsure, tell me, and do not give me an answer just to please me. Challenge me if I'm wrong. And I get quite blunt answers because of it, because I've challenged that sort of thing. I don't put that in any problem. That's more the memory thing I've given it. But it will, because of that bias, you can end up going down a rabbit hole where it's now, because you've said yes to one of those things, it's now right. This is the answer. It's narrowed itself. I've got to find a way to do it, and it pushes and and you. I'm not saying you've always done that, but and sometimes I will. If I feel like I'm going a rabbit hole, I will do. My next prompt is right. We need to stop. We need to take a step back. The problem I'm trying to solve is this. This is where we started. What's the best? And quite often it'll be like, oh yeah, I see where I went wrong. What we need to do is blah. And this is it's really smart, but it doesn't know everything at the same time. So I just asked GPT how to write a prompt. I thought it was a good starter before I go down your route. And it's given four things. And this aligns well to your tennis thing that you said, Joe. So number one is a role. So tell the AI what perspective or what expertise to use. So that role bit is really important. Number two is a context. What is the situation you're in right now and why? So for yours, Ryan, I would put your assistant helping an office manager where you work. We need to do something, we'll word it better, but with Excel, so it starts to know its context and what you're looking to do. You then got task, so actually we then say what you want it to do with the Excel, and then you've got the constraints, so bits it needs to keep to within this, and then your output format, what you'd want off the back of it. So you could even go as far as the formula. So it's effectively role, context, task, constraints, and output format. And you don't always have to do it. So, for example, if you didn't give a format, it would give you it in the best way. I do a bit like our website. I built so that I don't have to pay GoDaddy every month for hosting a website template. And I did that through vibe coding. And what I do is when it's not working, I would ask it to get, when it's done, at the end, I say, can you explain to me what I need to change? Give me a copy and paste version of that and tell me what I need to remove. So it gives me an idiot's guide, because I've thought it talks like I know what I'm doing. I haven't got a clue what I'm doing. And you specify the output format. Other times I won't give that because I'm happy with what it gives me. So with your situation here, let's just give it a go. So you are an assistant supporting an office manager in I just need to do my terrible typing, which I realise makes terrible audio whatsoever, in reviewing Excel spreadsheets. So what was your specific problem again? Here, what were we doing? You wanted to compare two rows of data, didn't you?
Yeah, from different sheets, so it would have required or two different tables, so it would have required a VLOOKUP.
Cool. So what is it again? You had a list of you said it in your original prompt. You had a list of names and numbers or something. What was it? What was the challenge?
I have two spreadsheets totally separated. Sheet one contains a list of different teams in column A, and then a list of different numbers in column B. Sheet two contains a smaller list of numbers. However, I need to match up the teams on sheet one to the numbers on sheet two, so to speak.
So in column B, is that a number relative to each team? Yeah.
Yeah.
As we're doing that, Triple Eight's joined the live. A big fan.
Get some commentary.
That's right. I'm just going to just.
Would you struggle with on Excel the most, Joe?
Oh, I just all of it.
All of it.
I really don't like it at all. It's like, just build me the sheet and I'll use it. Do not ask me to build a sheet. That's how bad it is, right?
So would you, with your output, Ryan, with your tab 2, would you want a list of team names against the numbers on there? Is that the outcome we're going for?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. So it was... Yeah, sheet 1 contains a list of teams and numbers that kind of reference that team. I need to know how many times that number appears. I need to know where those numbers appear in sheet 2, basically.
Triple Eight's going to try and get us to 10k likes, chaps, just to let you know this is good.
So what I've put, got best explanation. So you are an assistant supporting office manager in reviewing Excel spreadsheets. Role context. For this task, I have 2 sets of data in 2 separate tabs. On sheet 1, column A has a set of team names and column B a series of numbers against each team name. On tab 2, I have a list of numbers. I want to match the numbers on tab 2 to the numbers / names on sheet 1. The output I need is the correct team name against the numbers in sheet 2. And then, so that's the task. Not the best explanation as well, I know. And then I've put, how do I do this? ? Explain step by step for a novice Excel user. So it makes it really, really simple. This may not give the best answer. So we'll see what we get here. And what was the lookup you said it was? Because I'd use a VLOOKUP would be my thing.
Yeah, that's what I asked for, and it tried to offer me equals exact, which I've never heard of in my life. It tried to offer me an XLOOKUP, which is better for modern versions of Excel. Okay, fine. It then sent me down equals index again, equals if error.
So this has come to you. It said use a lookup formula, and it has said best option if you have modern Excel, and it has said XLOOKUP. It's given an example layout and a step-by-step guide as to what button you press where, what the formula looks like, and step-by-step to implement it. So did this XLOOKUP not work?
For me, it did not, because the way it explained it didn't explain it very well. So I did try and pursue the XLOOKUP aspect.
Yeah.
What did I say?
Because it's given a copy and paste formula you can put into the cell and then just copy it all the way down as the output it's given here.
So I didn't get that from I didn't get that from Copilot. So that may be where I've not asked it to treat it like a novice.
And that I think that's where you can get it if you're not sure on the answer. You're like, explain more, tell me how to do this. Especially with Excel, give me the formula to copy in and tell me where to put it. A good follower, because sometimes that's it. Sometimes you get an answer, and rather than it's wrong, you just need more. You give it a second layer of instruction to then push through.
Yeah. They I think sometimes I could probably be more patient, of course, but sometimes there comes a point where, like this conversation, I'm still scrolling up and down it, and there comes a time where I'm like, do it. I could have counted it manually, and I would have got to the answer quicker than perhaps I phrased these prompts. So I think for me, it's from my side, I sometimes probably don't go to use Copilot at work or ChatGPT outside of work to that often, because I'm not sure of the time saving it will give me. I wonder if I'm more efficient just sometimes doing things.
And I think if you know, this is a good example on that. If you know on this one, as I say, it's given a copy and paste. It has shown an example. So it's got sheet 1, column A, team alpha, team beta, team gamma. Column B, 1001, 1002, 1003. And then sheet 2, you've got column A, 1002, 1001, 1003. And in column B, where you'd insert the formula, it's now put the team names in that. Was that what you were looking to get it to do? Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's what I understood. Yeah, so it's ratified, it's done. So it's given a copy and paste formula. So I think if I didn't know what I was doing and I wanted it, but it's that bit because I've given it its role at the start, I've given a task, and I've even explained to it, I'm a numpty, I've got no idea what I'm doing with it, make it really simple. Because sometimes, especially when I'm doing the codey bit, like with the website, it will talk to me like I know what it's talking about, and I've got no idea, and I have to say, explain to me what this means, talk to me like I'm a novice, just give me copy and paste, and it explains why with it, and that starts to build up my knowledge base. But I have to tell it that, and sometimes it like if it gives me repeatable instructions, it will pare the instruction down each time, and I'm like, no, don't do that, give me the full instruction every time. Because it tailors it tries to be smart, tries to do different things. So I think that's, from what you said with it, I think role task output is kind of your simple thing to keep with it. Output. And explain if you've not got what you want, tell it why you haven't got what you want. It'll go back and it'll try again. I did it. I showed you guys a picture I did earlier, and there was a lot of people in it, and they were all wearing suits because it was me, loads of different pictures of me in a collage because I'm very self-indulgent people, and I said to it, they're all wearing suits. Can you just make some of them wearing t-shirts? But it went completely, there were just t-shirts everywhere because it had I hadn't been specific enough in my, and it'd been really good to that point. And then sometimes it just goes off on a massive tangent and you have to be really, really specific. And then you're like, no, that wasn't right. Go back and try again. But then sometimes it keeps, if you're not told it exactly what wasn't right, sometimes it keeps some of that and it gets good, which is where that almost reset comes in really useful sometimes with how you do it. But yeah, intelligent toddler is my kind of mantra, I would say, from my own personal experience on it.
That's such a good description, Lee. I really do like that. It's a super intelligent toddler, though, isn't it? It's
my God,
crazy good.
Yeah.
It's crazy good.
A toddler that's got access to all the information that's ever existed.
If I had a toddler that was that brainy, I mean, no, it'd just be nuts. It's so good. Yeah, blown away by the knowledge of these things.
Any of this help, Grifster?
100%. I think I need to be able to make myself phrase things cleaner the first time, because the only reason I get frustrated that it can't do it is because I'm the one not letting it do the thing that it needs to do. If that makes sense, because I'm obstructing it by not being clear in what I'm asking. I guess
I say it is and it isn't an art form, and that's where it comes down to. I just want to say, because I've had the screen, I've not had my YouTube up because I had GPT over the front of it, and Prairie Dodgers all the way from Canada is shouting us out some hellos on YouTube. So thank you for the support is the words I'm saying. Thank you very much.
We love Cindy. Love that.
Excellent
love that. I just thought when you were talking about the ChatGPT thing, like a little take when I've got 4 minutes left, haven't we? I just thought when you said about your animation, I come up with this thing because it was like Lee, like a combination of Ryan and Lee, and I come up with this name, Riley. Combining both Ryan and Lee. I thought that was really genius.
That'll be the name of our offspring, Ryan.
Yeah, that's fair.
Riley.
That's fair.
Riley.
If we ever got a dog together, that's probably what we'd have to call it.
You never know in the future. It could be something else, Ryan. With AI and everything. Could be, what's that?
Lee and I look after a Tamagotchi through ChatGPT. Is that what
that'd be funny, wouldn't it? What was that? Is it? What's
Don't
the one
need
that does
AI. You just need a cup and a whisk, and we can make it happen.
Oh no! I do. I always have to bring it down, don't he? Bring down the chat. What is it? What is that AI company that does the genes and it puts them together? Oh, come on,
we
guys.
are wasting this last 4 minutes, Jose, by the way.
Not Snipster, is it? It's not Snipster. I
don't even know what we're saying anymore now.
I know, I've just got off one. I was just like, literally, yeah. Anyway, yeah.
Jose also, before we started, he did swear before I hit record, and this is a man who would never have sworn like 6 years ago. So your progress is outstanding, Jose. I salute you.
I'm not sure it's a saluting moment.
I've dragged you down to my level. Right. This has been a very different one for us. So, Ryan, you posed a question. I hope something in that is useful and not just rambles whatsoever.
100%.
It's been a great conversation. I love from both of you. I love hearing how people use AI in different ways, because like 3 years ago, people look at you, got three heads when you talked about AI, and now so many people in my life use it, so many conversations, it's just natural, and I love seeing the different ways people use it. And I say that I think that's what's going to take over prompt structuring, is as people keep playing and developing and try different ways to do it. I just think it's so publicly owned. I really enjoy seeing the way it's evolving. Hopefully this was good for everyone out there in listener land. For a real cheesy statement, if you enjoy what we're doing, like people are doing, Jose is on both TikTok and YouTube. Jose Noya, Inspiration Nation. Stick it into your Google machine. If you follow on both of those, you'll find out when we're live each and every week. You can get involved in the show like so many people are. Pro Dodgers there, she said, having a symbolic mind. I need to have different perspective to synthesize ideas. Love Gemini. That's a great way to do it. You get, so many different viewpoints from AI. It's all good. People picking up on TikTok again. People are all over the place. Right. Again, follow Jose like people are. We support them all. If you like what we're doing, wherever you are, whatever podcast player, or if you're on YouTube, hit subscribe, hit like, tell friends and family. Head over to inspirationnation.org.uk for getting on for 7 years of top-notch content.
Wow.
We're in March. This is it. Well, in fact,
we've got to be
tomorrow,
past 7 years now.
I'm going to check if I can. I think tomorrow is the official 7-year anniversary of the first episode.
No way, 7 years.
But yeah, inspirationnation.org.uk, it is all there. I'm going to check for you quickly, guys, with our last minute that is left on the show.
We locked down to about the 20th, didn't we?
Oh, we started in 2019, not 2020. But yeah, the 20...
No. Yeah.
It's either the 13th or the 23rd. I see different reports out there, and obviously it's 5 years ago, so I can't remember what happened.
Yeah. I can't believe we were only doing this for a year before COVID. That
it's crazy, isn't it? Crazy. We were only doing it virtually for about 3 months before COVID as well.
Yeah, and then we was in...
we are. We're just over it. So March the 14th, 2019, episode 1, The Journey, went up and live. So we are 7 years and 4 days old now, guys. Happy birthday.
Well, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
IN. #IN. Love it. Amazing.
And before I really badly tie this and we get cut off.